Hi guys, have you ever tried to do something and found you're not particularly good at it, but when you slow it down, you find that you can start to integrate all the different parts of what you're trying to do, put them in the right part of the procedure, get them all correct, and then slowly over time you can begin to build the competency and the speed and you get it right. Well, essentially, this is exactly what we're doing with Qigong. We're actually slowing down our movement so we can create more time and space within a movement to understand very specific, very fine aspects of whole body compound movements. Now, I want to break this little chat down into two different parts. The first part, I'm going to tell you a little story about how I kind of really began to realize about this time and space within Qigong movement. Second, I'm going to start to talk about how it affects us and how we can use this to learn about mindfulness and learn about our body and integrate whole body compound movements to reprogram our complete nervous system. But that's going to come in another talk soon. Right now, I want to talk about how I felt this time and space. So, you may not know this about me, but I was a skateboarder punk when I was younger, and I loved my skateboarding, and I was pretty good, but I wasn't as good as other people, right? There's just some guys that just had this and they could jump off ramps and get the board to spin and they'd land on it. And there was just certain things I could do and certain things I couldn't. And it frustrated me because I wanted to be better, right? And so many years after I kind of finished skateboarding and had been doing a lot of Taiji and a lot of Qigong, which is slow movement, I still enjoyed going down my lunch break from my acupuncture clinic to a local skateboard park, and I'd watch the skaters there. It had long passed since I wanted to land on concrete on my head. These guys were still into it. So I'd sit there and I'd watch them, and there was this one guy one day, and he was just so awesome. And he was going up to this corner ramp, like, where there's one side and going down the other side. And he was going up and he was spinning the board in the air, grabbing it with his hand, putting it under his feet and landing this trick. And I was watching him and I was actually literally contemplating, like going, you little smart ass. And that was pretty much what was going through my mind. You little smart ass, what is it about this guy that is different to me? Why, if I tried that, would I face plant? And what was different about this guy? And I was watching him and it just suddenly dawned on me. This guy just had time. He had space. And this is what I was learning through the martial arts, which is why I could identify it. But when I was a skater punk, I didn't get this. And so when I went up the ramp and went to spin the board, I was like, oh, where the hell am I in space and time? And bang, actually I lost a tooth. And that exact feeling happened to me while I was in the air. I was like, where am I in space? And like, I had no idea where I was. And there's the ramp face and bang, hit my face, knocked out a tooth. This guy was just up in the air and you could see it in him. He was like, oh yeah, I'm in the air. I'm going to flip my board. Oh yeah, I'll catch my board. I'll put it under my feet. Oh, that's where I'm going to land. And down he went. You little smart ass. Right? But it was really good. And that's exactly part of what we're doing in our Taiji or in our Qigong. We're learning about space and time within movement. We're slowing things down and giving our body the chance to begin to observe things that are happening within us so that when we get, consciously competent, and that conscious competence grows, that we're actually be able to begin to speed up these movements. Now, we still often do our Qigongs very slow, but in fact, these Qigong movements should be compound, whole body sporting movements. And I'm going to talk about that, as I said, in a little bit. But part of learning to include this space and time within our body is to begin to register about the little things that we do that we don't notice we do. So, for example, right? Let's do this movement called preparation. This is a common Qigong and is also the first movement of the Taiji slow form. Right? And in this movement, we raise our hands, letting them go completely in by the time they get to shoulder height. And it is shoulder height. It's just the foreshortening of the camera makes them look a little bit higher. And down. Now, there's so much happening in this movement. Okay, 1. What we want to happen is my hand to go from yang, which is a yang hand here. By the time it gets to my shoulder height, it's completely relaxed. Yin, Nice and yin. Yin is the shady side of a mountain. Easy to remember this is a yin hand because it's relaxed and it's yin. And then down, and the whole movement on the way down, it's now yang. So there's no quick change up, quick change down. That shouldn't happen in our Qigong, and that's a whole nother story I'll tell another time, right? Okay. So it slowly relaxes up yin and slowly flexes down into yang. Now, if we were to learn that quite fast, it'd be quite tricky to find that nice release happening the whole way through the movement. You'd probably go, oh, I'm already completely flexed and I've still got another couple of inches to go. And oh, I'm already completely yang and I've still got a few inches to go down. So slowing it down gives us space and time to work out how to become consciously competent in getting that movement to happen the whole way through. Another point might be the shoulders raising. So one of the things we learn in Qigong is to keep our shoulders down so that if I walk up to the cupboard in the kitchen and I go to grab something up, that I'm not always unconsciously raising my shoulder and programming my muscles to raise and cause those muscles to fire that don't have to fire to raise my arm up. My shoulders should be able to stay down, okay? So when I'm doing this movement like this, if I do it slow enough, I can go, oh, see, I just started to raise my shoulder. All right, okay, I better do that again. Oh, I've raised my shoulder. All right. If I go slow enough, as soon as they raise, I'm going to be like, no, stay down, stay down, stay down, stay down, shoulders stay down, shoulders stay down. Good, shoulders stay down. Nice. I like you, shoulders. Thank you so much for doing that. I'm going to learn to have no tension in my neck and upper body if I keep doing that correctly. And so we can keep going, reprogramming our body by giving it the time and space it needs to see tiny, minute changes that it makes and finding that space to go, no, I don't want that to happen. Or I want this to happen instead. But if we do them fast, we don't get that neurological reprogramming that we want to happen. So when you're doing your Qigong or when you're doing your Taiji, the movements are designed to be slow so that we can get the mindful space to discover movement, to correct movement that shouldn't be there, and begin neurologically reprogramming ourselves to allow certain things to happen and to stop certain things happening. All right, guys, I'll be back with more tips, more theory on why we're doing Qigong in specific ways. I've got other videos probably below this one down on the feed on whichever platform you're on, so take a look at those. And I'll be back probably tomorrow with a little cue more about how Taiji and Qigong should be this nice compound full body movement and how this slowing down of movement helps us not only learn how to do those compounding sporty movements slow, but also begins to reprogram our neurology. Great, guys. Thank you so much for your time. I hope you're having a lovely day and I'll speak to you soon. I hope you stay Qi fit.